It was a late March afternoon in 2003 when everything changed. A young boy, about 10 years old, stood there, eyes wide, as his parents handed him a small, squirming ball of fur. A German Shepherd puppy with floppy ears too big for her tiny head, and a round belly that made her look even more adorable. The moment he held her in his arms, he knew his life would never be the same. He named her Freda. From the start, Freda was more than just a puppy, she was like a little detective. She was curious about everything, from the spaces under the furniture to the sound of crinkling paper bags. Nothing was off limits. Every day was an adventure for her. And the boy wasn't far behind, eager to watch her explore the world. One of the first memories the boy holds dear is watching Freda run across the yard for the first time. Her little legs carrying her faster than expected, and one ear popped up while the other flipped down in the wind. It was as if she was still trying to figure out how to balance all the excitement and the tiny body. The world felt big to her, and she wanted to chase it. The boy laughed, watching her bounce around the yard, soaking in every minute of her puppyhood. As the years went on, Freda grew, but that same energy stayed with her. She wasn't a little puppy anymore. She was a full-grown dog, strong and brave, but still just as loyal. And by this time, the boy had grown too. He wasn't a little kid anymore. He was a teenager, with bigger dreams and a busier life, but Freda was always by his side. Freda became his protector, his companion. The two of them went everywhere together, side by side. The boy could remember the many afternoons they spent by the creek. Freda would run ahead, eager to dive into the cool water, never hesitant, always doing whatever it took to keep her owner happy. And no matter how dirty or wet she got, it never seemed to matter to her. What mattered was being with him. It wasn't just about adventure, it was about the little moments too. The holidays, Christmas was one of those times. Freda was always right there with the family, sitting in front of the tree, waiting for her own
You
special
are
gift.
such a good helper, yes you are.
Every Christmas Eve, she'd wear a bright red bow, her tail wagging with excitement. The boy would laugh and hand her a treat to her bow. And she'd tear into it with as much excitement as a kid ripping into their presents. Freda wasn't just a pet, she was family. She was as much a part of the Christmas celebrations as any human. As time passed, the bond between them only deepened. The boy and his dog were a team. They'd grown up together, both learning from each other, supporting each other. And no matter what the boy faced, Freda was always there. A constant reminder of the simple, pure love that only a dog could give. By 2015, the changes were harder to ignore. Freda, now older, started slowing down. The days of running wild in the fields seemed like a lifetime ago. Instead of chasing sticks, Freda would spend more time resting in the grass, her eyes soft and peaceful. But even as she aged, her loyalty never wavered. The boy, now a young man, knew what was coming. He could see it in Freda's eyes. She wasn't the same energetic dog anymore. He understood that the time they had left together was limited, but he never let it stop him from cherishing every single moment. There were nights when he'd sit beside her, just the two of them in silence. They'd watch the stars, their heads tilted upward, and he would think about all the memories they had shared. It wasn't always the big moments that mattered, it was the quiet ones too. The times when nothing had to be said because they already understood each other. On the nights when it was just the two of them, by the outdoor fire pit, he would let Freda lean her head against him. He would run his fingers through her fur and remember the days when they would run together, full of energy and dreams. And though he knew she wasn't as strong as before, in those moments, Freda felt just as important as ever. The 21st of November, 2016, was a day that would change everything. It was late autumn, and the world outside was quiet, still. Freda had grown tired. The day had come when she could no longer keep up with her own body. The boy, now a man, was holding her as she lay there, knowing that this would be their final moment together. It was heartbreaking, watching her breathe slower, weaker. But he stayed by her side, gently stroking her fur as she drifted off. As the world around them grew dimmer, he whispered his love for her, reminding her of all the good times, all the love they had shared.
Buddy.
When Freda took her last breath,
Wake up.
it wasn't just the loss of a dog,
Please
it was the
don't
loss of
leave
a
me.
best friend, a constant companion for 13 incredible years. The boy, now a man, sat in silence, his heart heavy, knowing that the bond they shared would never fade. But even as she was gone, Freda would live on in the boy's heart. And the love they had was eternal. The video would end with the image of Freda, her spirit now free, floating among the clouds. Like a gentle reminder that she would always be watching over him. Even though she's gone, she'll always be with me. I'll carry her in my heart forever.